Hey, what's up, guys? We are live. I am testing out some stuff today. I'm testing out multi-streaming on both YouTube and Twitch simultaneously. So maybe you're watching this live on YouTube, maybe you're watching it live on Twitch, and maybe you're not watching it live at all. Maybe you're watching it on VOD later on one of those sites, or maybe I cut this into a video. We'll see. I usually trim this kind of crap out. However, we are trying some stuff out today, and we're also going to try out the new hybrid battleship Ise from Wargaming's World of Warships. This is the weirdest battleship that they've put into the game to date. I think I can say that very safely. Take a look at this thing. If you're not familiar with it, it's a hybrid battleship. This was a real concept that the Japanese were toying with in World War II and actually implemented to some degree. You know, go study it yourself if you want to become an expert. However, check this out. We've got basically 4 airplanes sitting here on the back of the plane, and they have these what do you call these catapult rails here, where they can basically launch these ships off this extremely short runway, or these airplanes off this extremely short runway on the back of the ship. This is based on a Fuso-class battleship. If you're familiar with the Fuso in the game, that is, you know, has been in the game for years now. It's very similar. The gun handling is very similar. 356mm main battery, 4 turrets. One of the tricks with this battleship, of course, is that these turrets on the back do not shoot rearwards very well, so you can't very well kite away and kind of shoot your guns like so. You can, of course, fire forward with them and things. So that, like a lot of battleships, you want to be more bow on than not. And the other trick with this boat is, of course, it has those Fuso guns. I loved the Fuso because it had a lot of guns and it was terribly inaccurate, but when the shells landed, it would just disintegrate like cruisers. I don't love having fewer of those guns, so this thing is not really as powerful as the Fuso was at being a battleship, and it's certainly not as powerful as an aircraft carrier is with its airplanes. These airplanes do about 2,700 damage max, whereas a Tier 6 Ryujo, the Japanese carrier, does about 6,000 damage max with each of its torpedoes. So it's not as good of an aircraft carrier as an aircraft carrier. It's not as good as a battleship is at being a battleship. Is it just a toy? Is it just kind of silly? I've played, I would guess, around 10 or 12 battles in this boat by now, and I think maybe that's what it is. I will say that my last few battles in it were better. I was getting up and doing a little bit more damage, you know, getting a little bit more work done. But I also had pretty favorable matchmaking in both of those battles as well. So what I wanted to do today was jump in here, run a few battles in the Ise, and kind of see how that goes, and at the same time do a little tech test, run this multi-streaming thing just to see how it works. I don't know if people who are watching my YouTube channel are interested in live play, or if they just like the recap videos with a little bit more polish and editing, but I thought we would give this a try today and see how things are going. I see we've got Hurt Dog in chat on YouTube. Hey, dude. I'll say hey there. And that sounds pretty cool. So what we're going to do is dive in here, and we're going to run a couple of matches in Ise and kind of see what this thing's all about. Now, I am not a skilled carrier captain, and to be fair, I'm not a battleship main either, so this seems like a recipe for disaster, and it probably will be. But we're going to jump in here and see how things go. So if you're joining me for this impromptu stream, this one was not announced, it's not scheduled, this is not a normal Clyde Plays Live stream time for Twitch, and I've never streamed on YouTube live before, so it's an experiment on all of that stuff. So again, if you're here on YouTube, you know, pipe up in chat, say hi, and we'll jump in here. Ise's abound. We've got 5 of them in this battle, 3 of them on my team, or on the enemy team. Let's take a peek here and see what's going on. So I've gone with the alternate camo. You get a green and a blue camouflage on this boat. I will take a look and see if our other Ise is running the green camo. If so, you'll be able to see that. And I can certainly show that one too if people are curious to see it. It's not a bad looking craft either. My airplanes are not ready for launch right at the beginning of a match like an aircraft carrier. That is one difference. I have to reload them just like a destroyer has to load its torpedoes, or a battleship has to load its main guns at the beginning of a battle. And so, whereas a CV can launch those planes straight away, the Ise does not have that capability. A lot of people in chat who don't know about the Ise and its weaknesses are complaining about it being another aircraft carrier. They think it's got the same planes as the aircraft carrier, things like that. You'll find that's probably pretty common if you've been playing battles. You might have even griped about it too, but I'll tell you, I don't think the Ise is as powerful as people fear. I think maybe it's sort of a toy boat. Maybe it's sort of not as capable as people would dream that it is, but we'll see. You know, we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I've had some pretty struggle bus battles in it as I've had my first few. I've got 9 battles in this boat, a 33% win rate, so I've only won 3 of those, and an average of almost 31,000 damage. So for me, I'm not really tearing up the world in this thing, and I imagine that's relatively common. My friendly Ise is doing better than me. He's got 18 battles, 72% win rate, and 45,000 damage. But 45k isn't really world beating. It's not dominating. So again, you know, I think that it's going to add more airplane spotting, and that's going to have an effect on the game. I'm just not quite sure what all that is going to be. And we'll take some matches here and find out. We'll see how it plays. I'm going very slow at the beginning of this battle. When I'm flying my airplanes, I'm not driving my boat. And so you've got to kind of be paying attention to what's going on there. If you want to be driving the ship, then you got to bring those airplanes back home. So I'm going to go ahead and launch my planes now, because early game spotting we know is really valuable. So I think if you're in a battle and you're in the Ise and you don't have carriers in the battle, this is a fantastic opportunity to put these planes up and go out there and get some eyeballs. When you first launched the planes, you just saw that smoke trail, those contrails following behind my airplanes. First of all, the planes look great. But nobody's ever accused the Wargaming art department of not making cool looking stuff. Maybe you don't like some of the camos, but the models of the planes and ships are fantastic. But anyway, we launch with like a little rocket booster at the beginning of that, and the airplanes go like 220 knots if you're running your full court press, mashing the W key while you're playing. The planes slow down. They run about 122 knots cruising speed. You can see that now on my screen. Just flying the planes around right now so you guys can get kind of a sense for what they do. And then you can boost them up to 140 with war emergency power. Or WEP. Not the same as the security we used to use on our routers back in the day. Hood has really good AA. I don't want to fight the Hood, and here it comes. You know who else has really good AA is the Ise. That is one thing that it has that Japanese battleships in particular don't often have. So that's something that you might find. So we've spotted a few planes there, or ships there. I've only gotten one spot. Our destroyers were doing a pretty good job of that, and the enemy team was kind of barreling in. Black buffs. They should be actually going in for an attack. It's just those ships are all very well clustered together, and a bunch of them have decent anti-air capability. I'd like to find somebody off on their own. I don't think I'm actually going to be so lucky. Now here's what just happened. Torpedo bombers are ready to take off. I'm going to go in here and make an attack run on this smoke, which is probably unwise. We got California in there. Hood sailed away a little bit. This flak is going to murderate me. Let's just see if we can throw some torps into this smoke. Drop them there. I think the destroyer was on the other end of that smoke. But now I can come back here. I can shoot my guns. Now check this out. My planes take 2 minutes to reload. They have reloaded while I was flying around. So that is kind of an interesting thing to note, right? Some of the consumables you have on regular non-CV surface ships don't reload until you're done using the thing, right? Smoke will puff smoke for 1.5 minutes and then it starts to reload. It doesn't puff smoke and start reloading. It's more like the torpedoes, which you fire them and they start reloading immediately, even though the torpedoes are still running. It's not a surprise, I guess, that it operates that way, but it's a good point of clarification that you're going to have those I keep crossing boats and airplanes today. You're going to have those airplanes ready to go, and if you're flying around for 2 minutes, which is kind of a long time, you kind of want to get out there and get those planes launched and then get your attack done and then get back and start using your guns again. Then you'll find that's a useful thing to kind of be tracking and making sure you're scheduling all that stuff out and understanding when your planes are ready, when your guns are ready, because you can fire your guns, launch their planes. For the first 30 seconds, your guns are still reloading anyway. And then you can drop your torpedoes. If you can do that in about a minute and a half, you can come back, fire your guns again, and then be ready to launch planes again. And you're just trying to get into those loops where we can make this as efficient as possible. By the way, I'm obviously not demonstrating high skill at doing that right now. I only have 1,800 damage on the clock, and we are 6 minutes into the game. So that first fly around was very long, even for me, and so we were wasting some time there, not getting airplanes launched and not getting. There we go. That was a good hit. 5,000. I found the HE is a good way to keep the damage a little higher. Both of my best games in this ship, I was running HE almost entirely exclusive. I have scored citadels on cruisers and things in the Ise. It's been possible. So I think it's something you can still do. I might become visible again here when the Ise's planes come around the corner. Trento. No, he's staying in Trento smoke. I didn't know if that was his smoke or if he was borrowing destroyer smoke. All right. Well, I've got no. Well, here we go. I can shoot Trento. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do what we were just talking about. I'm gonna fire the guns, launch the planes. I can't hit Z to follow my shells anymore, which is fine. I don't need to do that. Here's those rocket boosters. Look how fast my planes are going. 210 knots. I scored a fire on the Trento. Drop my rocket pods. They splash in the water. Now we're coming in on Trento here. I'm gonna save some of my boost. I'm letting that charge back up. And then we're going to blast in here and see if I can hit this guy. Now, I'm not the best aircraft carrier captain, and this is an aircraft carrier skill that I'm attempting to use. And the Trento's steering to make it difficult on me. He's also under a lot of duress from my team. I might not even need to attack him. Might be able to just go on and hit this Kirov. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. Move on and attack Kirov. Kirov might even be AFK, which would be fantastic for me. Trento is attacking me. Drop those airplanes. It's torpedoes. I mean, it's 2 torps per airplane. I'm going to stay here so we can watch them hit. Look how weak these are. 3 torpedoes hit for about 6,000 damage. Right? That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about 1 torpedo for 6,000 damage, which is what you get with an aircraft carrier. So when people are worried that you've just added 3 more full, hard-hitting torpedo squadrons to the map, you haven't. You've added a couple of weak torpedo squadrons to the map. That's 29,000 damage on the clock. What did I say my average was? 30,000, 31,000, let's say. My team has started doing pretty well here. We're winning our side, which is really great for me as an airplane / battleship platform. It's quite helpful. Try to drop these babies onto this Ise. And that was a good hit, 5,400. I don't often see numbers that high. 3,000, probably a little bit more realistic. If you're in NA, playing in the US, I can say that the ship's about $27 on the premium shop, and you can decide for you whether or not that's worth it. You know, I don't like to throw a ton of money at Wargaming these days. I used to spend a lot more money on this game. These days, I'm just a little more frugal. I have a lot of premium ships, and there's a lot you can get for pretty cheap, although I will throw them a couple of bucks every now and again. But this boat was just too weird to pass up. I kind of had to have it. I felt like it was going to be just a silly joke boat, and like the Ohotnik, I had to have it in my port because it was just so strange, right? I don't know that it's particularly powerful, but I do think it's particularly. Giulio Cesari over there could be an issue for me. But we're going to launch some planes here. Got a fire on the Giulio. I've been doing really well with fires this match. I feel like that's a pretty good ratio to be there. I don't want to go tangle with those Ises. Ise has 76 for the AA rating. We talked about how it has a pretty strong AA rating earlier, and it does. This is definitely a strength that it has. I'm going to fly away from some of that AA. It's just a wall of anti-air as I cross those 2 Ises and this Giulio. I'd rather sever the Giulio and just fight him all by himself. Torpedoes near my ship. Giulio is coming around here. This is going to be my drop. It's not a perfect angle, but it should be pretty good. Now, if he's smart, he'd turn towards the aircraft. I'm not going to bother, so I'm just going to drop those. And I'm going to sit here and watch them. I think, again, just for the interest of the folks watching the videos, that was a really good drop with this boat, and it was still only about 7,000 damage, if I did my math correctly. I come back and I can fire my mains again. Great hit on that Ise, which of course means he can also hit me very well. Now as I turn away, I'm going to have a hard time keeping these back guns in play. The angle I can turn away is not that strong. And it also causes my airplanes to get that rocket boost pointed the wrong direction. One of my cohorts who often plays with me in stream, hey, GMAC, welcome. I got a comment from GMAC on Twitch. He says, is FTP player... WoW's free-to-play player friendly. If you pace yourself and stay away from high games. That's true. I think you can...
There can be only one!
I'm going to try this. Cranking the wheel and setting... I'm not using autopilot that much because I expect I'll be right back. I'm going to go try a drop on this Ise. He's looking very strong, but AA, but very weak with hit points. I'm just going to blast in here, full speed. Coming in for the drop. And I get a few torps on him. It won't take many. And I want to go back to my ship. My guns are loaded. They're not quite pointing the right direction. Let's see if we dropped him. I'm going to get one, maybe? One. Oh, hang on. He's going to jump in front of the other two. Check this. Check this. Got him, baby.
Perfect.
There can be only one.
This is actually working. This is my best match ever in the Ise. You guys are witnessing it live on stream. And again, this isn't a brag. I'm just playing okay, right? Pensacola. Now here's the problem: is we're losing now. Remember when we were winning a second ago? That was much better than the losing we're doing now. This thing is not necessarily a big slugger. Again, those kiting away angles are bad. The other Ise is trying to get his boys lined up here, and look at that, I only had the two guns in play. I was switching AP, or 2 AP rather. I'm going to be angled here for a second, and then I'm going to try to crank the wheel around, see what we can do to drop this Pensac. If we can hit him up, that'd be fantastic. If we can dump him with this AP. He's smart though, he got in, bow in. Oh, maybe he's not that smart. He's turning out right as my guns are getting reloaded. This is a good thing for me. Here's what I'd like to do. Oh, 18 seconds until I can reload. We got the Citadel on the Pensacola there. And only with 2 barrels, which means I've got 2 more to go. We're going to put these ones into Ise if we can. Alright, that was only 1,000 damage, but I'll take it. I'm going to launch my planes right now while my guns are reloading. Launch them. I got to hit that button twice. Yeah, GMAC's talking about a scheme where Christmas can take... If you haven't played World of Warships since Christmas time, if you've never experienced the World of Warships Christmas event, they, if you buy, he says if you buy about $100 in Christmas containers, you're set for the year. And I think that's probably a pretty true statement. This is great. I'm going to drop those torps. And my guns are all pointed the wrong way. That was my bad for setting them up poorly. Hopefully I land at least one of those. It should be enough to do them in. Yeah, we've
in the end, there can be only one.
done in the enemy Ise. I think I'm gonna... Oh, there's a Minakaze up here somewhere? Shoot. I saw that guy on the minimap earlier. Check this guy out. Peep this Minakaze. I'm gonna say requesting support. Scharnhorst is coming in to back me up, which is great. I'm gonna switch to HEs. I got about 65 seconds. Oh no! Minakaze torps, they hit hard. No, I'm not gonna be able to get stopped. Oh my gosh, dude. Did you see that?
Let's see that again!
That could be game-winning. A game-winning torpedo shortfall. Or game-losing, perhaps? Oh, that was fantastic. 95,000 damage so far in the Ise. Scharnhorst is coming in with me, but I don't think... I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to survive fighting or trying to duel a Minakaze that I can't see. At 30 seconds till I can put some airplanes up. If I can get my airplanes up... I'm gonna tell Scharnhorst I'll spot for us. He's going back out for reasons that are completely incomprehensible. I guess because he doesn't want to fight a destroyer. He'd rather slug it out with a Julio Cesare. I'm here to tell you, pal, it's not any better out there. Alright, Minakaze's putting his smoke out. I'm gonna go fill that smoke with torpedoes. Just right away. Oh no! He stepped out. He's so weak. I had no idea how many hit points he had. I'm gonna miss him with the torps, but I should be able, if I can see him, I should be able to kill him with the gun. So I'm gonna get bow in. I only need one shell to hit, probably, to sink this guy. But I'm gonna go bow in and throw it in reverse. I don't want to give him a big target to hit. We are 95,000 damage, remarkably close to a pizza party. And of course, if we hit that, we will get to listen to our celebratory music, which would be fun. Come those two. I'm probably going to eat both of them. Or none of them. Because the Ise is on a diet, ladies and germs. Check this out. Woo! Now, Minakaze torpedoes reload extremely quickly. I don't know if leaning in like I'm doing here is smart. Dude, somebody's got to... What are you doing if you're running away, Scharnhorst? You got to help me out, buddy. We got to win this battle. I don't want to lose it. I want to win it. That's the difference. Oh, no. There he is. Okay. Perfect. So he's done.
Release the Kraken.
Done launching torpedoes. Are there more torps coming? Yes, there are, and very accurate ones at that. Those are going to hit me. Okay, no floods, but 15,000 damage and cap reset. Cap reset is the worst part. We need the Scharnhorst to play World of Warships. If only he were doing that. That would be so good. Guess he's probably trying to go back and reset the hood. Guess who's gonna win the gun battle between half of a Fuso and a complete Julio Cesare? Not gonna be me. It's gonna be the freaking Julio, dudes. This sucks. Alright, little Rocketeers, let's go. If the Sharny would help me kill this guy, we'd have a snow... Well, we won't, because Hood's got our cap beaten. We've lost, haven't we? You guys, I should have known. I think if I'd have had the Scharnhorst support, we could have won it. Because we could have killed that... I'll just drop these here. Switch back to my guns. We could have killed that Minakaze, and then my recap, or cap, would not have been reset a million times. See if we can get a pizza party before this is over anyway, because that'd be fun. Oh no, terrible shots. And terrible shots again. We're not gonna get our pizza. Oh, I don't believe this. We've been robbed in so many ways. So many ways. Great battle in the Ise. Again, I don't want to overstate or understate, I guess. I don't want to understate the weaknesses that this ship has. It has a lot of weaknesses, but I think it's interesting, it's weird. And I just lost a battle where I did 97,740 damage. That's okay. Sometimes you're gonna lose. Oh shoot, dudes. I got a Kraken. Okay. Well, that was, again, we got a Kraken unleashed and we lost. So that's very unfortunate. I needed a little more backup from Scharnhorst. He obviously played a decent game because he was third on our team. Broke 1,000 on a losing match, which isn't bad. Let's take a look at the detailed report. All right, so Ise, we did about 18, 19k to him, 15k to the other Ise, 12k to the Pensac, and then I nicked these 2 kills, right? We killed 3 Ises in this battle. There can be only one. It's Highlander style today.